I don't know whether or not you watched any of the opening ceremony of the Olympics. I quite like opening ceremonies. I like the spectacle. I like the theatricality of them. And there are very few opportunities in modern life for that level of engagement and public spectacle. But what we got last night was a dull and drenched parade of the Olympics, with TV cameras often showing just the wrong angle. So we saw all the workings, we saw the underwear. In the case of the blue Smurf man, we saw slightly more than we should have seen. And the art of the art of Paris, semi-submerged in the Seine. What we saw was the scaffolding holding it up as the boats passed by, and the rain and the balloon, this cauldron, a lot of effort, and simply not designed or not controlled by the TV coverage it received or the soaking that it got. A lot of ambition, and the execution was second rate and wasn't aware of its intended audience, whether these were dignitaries sitting in the rain in see-through Macs, the unfavourable weather, or whether it was the difference between a parade and TV coverage, and the little bits of TV footage which were added to the parade. I'm never convinced by that anyway, whether that's in London or in China or wherever. I think you have a record of what you see in the stadium, or in this case, not in the stadium. And this was spread over too great a distance to be controllable. It proved not to be controllable. It proved to be all over the place. Set against the Parisian landmarks, the ceremony it featured a diverse range of performances, but was then swamped in its diversity. The faceless flame bearer, referencing the video game Assassin's Creed. Great game. So rather pointless reference. Why? The minions interacting with the Mona Lisa. Unconventional, but perfectly okay. But I didn't quite understand. Philippe Catherine's portrayal of Dionysus, though it was meant to be artistic, looked like a Smurf, and was faintly dodgy, and the television angle didn't help. The drag queens who paid homage to France's theatrical history, the Last Supper themed performance, the Nakamura's inclusion, initially contentious, culminated in a balanced performance, blending her music with a tribute to Charles Aznavour. Great, but it was all a bit bitty, wasn't it? The Olympic Flames' dramatic entrance on the Seine via a silver mechanical horse added a sort of touch of spectacle which was missing from what had gone before, though the overall effect suffered from the persistent rain. The athletes' parade, intended to showcase the heart of Paris, instead highlighted the impracticalities of outdoor ceremonies. Macron and the other dignitaries had to shelter, but many spectators, including Sir Keir Starmer, braved the elements until they fled after the cauldron was lit. The ceremony's climax, featuring this Olympic cauldron ascending in a balloon, was a historical nod to the first air balloon. It encapsulated the ceremony's blend of innovation and tradition, or at least that attempt. But that attempt was rained off. Despite the effort, the event's reception sort of demonstrated a disconnect between art and audience. And and basically any form of appreciation. It was a damp squib. And what's my judgment? It didn't work. It didn't work. It was dull.